Hey guys, how's it going? Alex Scott here with Consordini.com. Thank you so much for checking out another one of our super cool studio gear reviews. Very interesting product to take a look at today. We have been contacted by a company called Consci or Consci. I'm not entirely sure how to say it, but they are a new music company and they have designed a better cable, or so they claim. And in this quick review, we're going to be taking a look at just how true that is. But they are currently running a Kickstarter campaign for these cables that they've designed, and they claim that not only are they made out of better quality materials and feature all kinds of cool upgrades that normal cables do not, but they claim to have invented a new kind of noise-canceling technology that they have integrated into these cables, and that's kind of their big selling point and their most unique selling point. They come in two colors currently, sort of this royal blue and then this light kind of whitish gold weave, and they are woven cables or braided cables. They do feel incredibly nice. The TS or guitar cable, standard 1/4-inch cable, has a gold-plated connector, and again, these kind of noise-canceling beads or pods or whatever we're calling them, attached to either end of the cable, about 6 inches shy of the connector itself. They also feature this really interesting carbon fiber insert. Overall, they feel very, very, very high quality. They're very tight. They're very stiff at the moment, though I'm sure like most braided cables, they would break in very nicely over time. They're clearly made out of pretty high quality components. Now, unfortunately, these cables are either so new that I cannot get the sleeve apart, or perhaps they're sealed in some way, I can't really tell. So I have not been able to check the solder points inside the lead, but if the solder points are as good as the quality of the rest of the cable, I'm sure they're quite fine. Again, gold-plated connectors, everything feels very, very solid, very premium, very luxury. You know, this feels like a cable that I would expect to cost a fair amount of money. However, the biggest selling point on these cables is this noise conducting element here. Now, all they say on their website, and I'm going to try to quote from memory here, these innovative XLR male to female and TS 1/4-inch cables feature a built-in signal noise canceling technology. By integrating an iron core inserted into a PVC mold, we can significantly dampen excess signal noise and elevate your sound. That is literally all they say about this noise canceling technology. On the Kickstarter page, they do have a diagram, which we'll put on screen here. And as you can see, it's basically a piece of iron, or sort of an iron round, a ferrite round of some kind, packaged inside of a PVC mold. And they put this again on either end of the cable. Now, I tried to do research into this a little bit, and while there is some argument to be made for some kind of ferrite dampener that may or may not reduce electromagnetic interference into your cable, in testing, at least in my basic layman testing here in my studio, it made absolutely zero difference. My testing, I don't have super advanced testing equipment. I'm not a manufacturer or a QC facility or something. I am just a recording studio. But basically I decided, well, if it is a noise canceling cable, it should be able to cancel at least one of two types of noise, the two most common types of noise that we encounter with cables, which is either interference from the cable itself, from a device somewhere in a room or in close proximity to the cable, or from the actual signal noise from like a pair of pickups. So I plugged this cable into both my vintage P-Bass, which is from 1978, and I plugged it into a Stratocaster, which has notoriously noisy single coil pickups. In both cases, compared to a kind of normal guitar cable, it did not seem to reduce any noise whatsoever. It sounded identical. The next test that I did was to set this cable on my desk, connected to a source that was turned down, and I actually made a call on my cell phone and laid the cell phone directly on top of the cable. Now, for any kind of poor quality cable, this would cause massive amounts of interference, right? For a good quality guitar cable, however, one with proper shielding, it should be able to combat that noise pretty well. And indeed, my typical kind of normal 10-foot guitar cable that I've always used for recording from Kierland, I ordered on Amazon a number of years ago, no noise made it through from the cell phone, and indeed no noise made it through here. They sounded exactly the same. Even when I boosted the gain on the signal way, way up so I could really hear the self noise of the whole system, the self noise in the preamp on my console was significantly louder than any noise I was able to pick up from the cable itself. So compared to a normal, good quality, braided, properly insulated guitar cable, I cannot vouch for the fact that this offers any kind of noise canceling over what just a normal quality cable does. They make a very big point on the Kickstarter that this is their unique tech and this is what makes this a better cable. However, the scientific explanation of how this works seems to be non-existent. There are some comments on the Kickstarter from backers asking more about it. They don't seem to be able to provide any more information on what exactly this ferrite core or this iron core is doing to reduce the noise in the signal. I'm not even entirely clear on what type of noise it's supposed to reduce. Cables typically have almost no self noise unless they're very, very low quality. So I can't imagine it would reduce the self noise of the cable. And reducing interference from a signal source, again, something like a pickup or a cell phone placed near a guitar, something like that. I don't quite get it. They don't provide really any information on their site. So I won't call it outright snake oil because I cannot prove one way or the other. Again, I'm not, an audio testing guy. I don't have that equipment here and I don't have much of a background in that. But in terms of what I think of when I think of interference from a cable, I tested, again, with a cell phone on the cable, cell phone next to my pickups, normal pickup noise from both a bass and a guitar. It made absolutely zero difference over a typical good quality guitar cable. So don't really know if they wanted to provide more technical information or a shootout of some kind on their end that could show this cable in action from their perspective. That would be enormously helpful. They have not provided that. Literally what I read there is the only information on the Kickstarter or on their website about this new technology. So we will leave it at that. That just leaves me to judge the cables based on their physical quality. And they are very, very nice cables. They feel great. Like I said, it's a very high quality braid. Got gold-plated connectors on the TS cable, the guitar cable, and this interesting carbon fiber sleeve. Feels very, very well made. I believe in terms of the Kickstarter pricing, the guitar cable, which is a 20-footer, is $35, and the XLR cable, which I also have here, is, I believe, $40. I believe there's a minor difference in the pricing between the colors, whether you get the light gold or the blue. So, do with that what you will. The one thing that I do really, really like on the XLR cable is this nice big button here to release the lock on the female end of the XLR. That's very, very cool. I hate cables that have the tiny little jagged notch thing here to pull your cable out. Putting a big paddle like this is very comfortable, very, very, very effective. However, I did have some sizing issues. It's not a super deep barrel, so I was having a problem actually getting this to click into some of my mics. I didn't really do much noise canceling testing on the XLR because it's a balanced cable. And all XLRs inherently, because they are balanced cables, they inherently cancel cable interference through phase cancellation. And, if you know how a balanced signal works, then you already know exactly what I'm talking about. So adding this iron core to this really didn't make any sense to me. I said, okay, maybe on an unbalanced cable like a normal TS cable, maybe it does something. It indeed did nothing that I could figure out. So really don't get it here. But just like the TS cable, just like the guitar cable, this is very, very high quality, really, really nice braiding. This logo kind of rotates, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that's intentional. The connector itself is of a very good quality. There is a big seam in it, so maybe could be a little bit better quality. Again, it does not appear that there's any way to unscrew this connector or take it apart if you ever want to look at the soldering inside or need to repair the soldering inside. But the main thing here is just this nice big button. I very much like. I would like to see this on all XLR cables in the future. Makes it a lot more easy to operate, at least when the sizing is correct and it will appropriately connect to a mic. So overall, do I think this is a Kickstarter project you should back, or if you should buy these cables in the future? I mean, they're high quality cables. They're very, very nice. They're clearly built well. They're made with nice components. They feel pretty luxurious. I definitely would say that they're high quality cables. Noise canceling tech, absolutely no idea. They provide basically zero information on their website. The little bit of information that I could find says, yes, in theory, wrapping a piece of iron around a piece of cabling should help interference. Cables have such low self-noise, and especially balanced cables already have sort of noise cancellation in them. I don't really get it. I'm not going to outright say that they are not being truthful or that this is completely a gimmick or anything like that. I just don't know. I don't have the equipment here to test it. In my basic testing, didn't do a dang thing. So take that for what it is, which is just my opinion. Overall, I think they're cool. I think the pricing is pretty good for a luxurious, real nice cable like this. Again, 35 bucks for the guitar cable, 40 bucks for the XLR. For their Kickstarter, I don't know if that reflects the final kind of market price once these cables come out, but in any case, there you go, a quick overview of the Consci cables from Consci Music. Now, a quick other interesting note about the company, browsing through their website, it seems that they, in addition to making these cables, are also a record label. Not entirely sure how that works. They don't seem to really have any artists associated with them yet, at least any that I could really find out much information about, but they seem to have a lot of very flowery language on their site about building a better world through music and wanting to somehow connect selling cables to representing artists and being a label and being a PR firm or something. I'm not sure. Again, we'll put a link to their website down below. Check it out if it sounds interesting to you. But regardless, I do really appreciate them sending me these cables to take a look at. I can only encourage Consci to put more scientific information and actual kind of shootouts and testing figures and EIN numbers, self-noise numbers, all this kind of stuff on their site. That would help enormously in understanding what exactly is going on with this noise canceling tech, because they've only provided a sentence and a basic diagram about the technology. I really can't say anything more about it, so if they want to provide more information there, I would definitely recommend it. But regardless, they're very nice cables, and I do appreciate the chance to check them out. So thank you to Consci very much for that. But what do you guys think? Do you like braided cables? Do you like high-end cables? Do you believe in the theory that the more you spend on a cable, the better your tone will be? Whatever your thoughts may be, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinions on nice cables in general, and these cables in particular. But regardless, my name is Alex Scott with Consordini.com. Thank you guys again very, very much for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have not yet subscribed to the Consordini channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Be sure to click that notification bell to be kept up to date with our new content. Give the video a like or a share. That would be great as well. But in any case, hope you dug it, and we will see you in the next video.